I always found it intriguing how science never seems to exactly jive with history. We find all these stories from all around the world of dragons. China, Montana, South America, pretty much everywhere you go, there's stories within the culture about dragons. Yet, for some strange reason, we never find just enough evidence to prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that dragons existed. It's very intriguing to me that we can find within the land of dragons, Romania, hundreds of skeletons, fossils, of a dinosaur who's very much like a dragon. He has talons, but for some reason they can't find his wings. And they can't prove that he had flame within his breath. Of course, you have to ask yourself, would it be easy to find wings? Right? You know, they find these fossils, but it seems like the fossils are not quite right sometimes. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. You have this alleged Chinese dragon here. So they always find dragons or something like a dragon in the country where there were multitudes of dragons according to the tales, the myths of old, right? But what's so interesting is that the skeletons they show us just don't make any logical sense. I mean, look at this thing. Look how long his neck is. It's just impossible for his neck to be that long. It's almost like they're trying to make us look like idiots. They want you to accept their science, but at the same time their science contradicts their historical records. All these historical records contradict science. Why? Why is it we find a dragon, but it doesn't make any sense? It has a neck way too long for it to even be able to be held up. This head would not be, it just wouldn't be possible. The center of gravity is way over here. It would tip over. It would be, it couldn't walk, okay? This thing is just manufactured. I'm sorry, but it is. It's just not real. Maybe it's their way of explaining away dragons, though. Because, you know, in China, they have their myth of the dragon having a long neck, right? That's their way of explaining it away. In Romania, we have also a dragon, which I showed you a picture of the talons. But they can't seemingly find the wings. You know, it's almost there, but it's not quite there. Oh, it was a dragon, but not really a dragon. And it doesn't exactly fit all those myths from 1,000 years ago. So we can't find that evidence of all those stories. Very intriguing. Could it have something to do with sort of a conspiracy to hide the truth, to retain evolution as a theory? As it seems like scientific evidence has to fit this religion of evolution. And evolution doesn't fit the historical data. Something ain't right. Something is wrong. We would not have stories all around the world telling us there are these dragons and they all correlate and they all say the same thing. We even have the Bible saying it in Job 41. And of course, even there the Freemasons tell you it was just an alligator. It's just an alligator. And it doesn't even fit whatsoever. It literally doesn't fit at all. Of course, we have the Leviathan and the Behemoth described in Job. The other massive animal clearly refers to something like a brontosaurus. It's not rocket science. It says its tail's like a cedar tree. And of course, it says, well, maybe it's talking about the elephant. No, the elephant doesn't have a cedar tree tail. Maybe it's talking about the alligator. No, it doesn't have a cedar tree tail. There's only one reptile that has that. I mean, not one. I mean, obviously dinosaurs. There was multiple that were like the brontosaurus, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's clearly something like a brontosaurus. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what it's describing. But apparently they want us to play dumb and pretend all these stories are fake. All these dragon stories from medieval times are fake. When in reality, what's going on is they're hiding the evidence. And they want us to look stupid. They want us to believe. See, they even put dragon fossils on display in China. The only problem is, this actually, I don't know about this picture here. It could easily be fake. But what they do is they come up with a dinosaur that was from millions of years ago that was kind of like a dragon. Kind of. Because they don't want to have something that is exactly like a dragon, because then people will be questioning, well, then why did they have all those stories 1,000 years ago about dragons? That would mean that there was dinosaurs 1,000 years ago. They can't have you going there. So instead, they make up these, let me see if I can find it here. I had it open. Fake-ass dinosaur skeletons. This is clearly fake. Let me see if I can find a bigger picture of this. This is just faker, and this is so fake. It's reconstructed skeleton. What is the name of this thing? Let's see here. Let's just look it up this way. Long neck dinosaur. Let's see if I can find it this way. In the images. Bigger image. So you can get a bigger picture of this. There we go. Clearly, look how fake this is. This is not even freaking... This isn't even fake skeletal bones that were formed to be the same mold. These are just literally fake looking completely. This is what passes as science today, folks. I'm a mechanical engineer. This thing would not be able to walk. Its center of gravity would be approximately here, which would mean it would flip over. This thing is fake. It's not even engineered to move. But they want us to believe this is what was the dragon, because the dragon has a long neck according to Chinese legend. So it's misdirection, it's disinformation, this is fake. But they think we're dumb, and people accept this because scientists said this. The scientific establishment, which completely contradicts historical data, said it. So you must believe it. Clearly they're leading us astray with their lies. It's not rocket science. And the very fact that the Smithsonian has taken many skeletons that don't fit evolutionary theory and disposed of them or hid them shows you they have an agenda. If the puzzle piece doesn't fit, throw it away. Keep all the ones that you like. Make your theory to fit the puzzle. This is what they want us to... This is what they're doing. The very fact that it doesn't fit any of these historical accounts shows you that they're teaching lies. And I wanted to kind of make this video on this. I thought it was very interesting. This movie I showed clips of is theorizing how the dragon would actually be able to fly, and also how it would be able to breathe fire. It's actually kind of interesting, this movie, The Last Dragon. It's sort of a pseudo documentary. It's actually based on a true account that was reported that in Romania they found a dragon in a Romanian cave up in the mountains with this medieval crime scene, all these people that were dead, and the body was fully intact, frozen and preserved. And it says that it looked like a dragon. It had wings and such. But again, anytime we have one of these stories come out, mysteriously there's no skeletal remains for anybody to see. For some reason, every time it's buried. Either the Smithsonian, like with the case of the giants within the states in America, back in the 1900s or even earlier, the Smithsonian comes in and takes all the remains, and you never hear about it again. And that's why there are no bones anymore, because the Smithsonian went around collecting them all and disposing of them or hiding them. Here we have a story that this pseudo documentary was made on. A true story that the Romanian authorities had found a real dragon body preserved in ice in a medieval crime scene. That was all true. But we have nothing to look at. We have no evidence to look at because it's been buried. Every time, this is what happens. Why? Because it doesn't fit the evolutionary theory. And as you can see, evolutionary theory doesn't fit any of the historical data. You have these articles that come out in the 1900s and the 1800s, even of dinosaurs being in the Congo. We even had newspaper articles of dinosaurs still living in the Congo. There was even an evolutionary biologist that went to the Congo, talking to various tribes there, showing pictures of dinosaurs, and pointed out, some of the tribesmen pointed out that the pterodactyl eats their dead and also picks people off canoes. But of course, that's not science. And of course, it doesn't fit evolution either, does it? So of course, they're not going to be pursuing that, because they have a reputation to keep, to retain. This is why you never hear the truth about this topic.